Okay guys, we got the door locks fixed in this Bronco. Both sides are working fine now. And the customer also wants me to install one of my plug and play remote keyless entries that I've been making now for about 3 years, which is this. See, there's no way to install keyless entry in one of these old Ford trucks or Broncos without chopping up the factory wiring. So I came up with this so you don't have to do that. And I'll show you. If you buy one of these keyless entries, say you get online and buy one, you're going to open it up, and this is what you're going to get. Just a bundle of wires. And there is a list telling you what these wires do, but there's no wiring diagrams, there's nothing, no good instructions at all that tells you what to do. So most people that open these up are just lost. They don't know what to do. So that's why I came up with this, because I turned that bundle of wires into this, and everything is labeled where it goes, and I'm going to show you step by step how to do it. This is your instructions. And I've sold a lot of these things. It's been life-changing for me. So I'm going to get the camera set up. First off, I'll tell you, you'll need an 8mm socket, a Phillips screwdriver, maybe a flathead screwdriver, and I'll show you why when we get to it. You're going to need a little pair of channel locks or pliers or something like that for the T-taps that we're going to use. And you're going to need this little pry tool. So I'm going to get this camera set up somehow where you're looking down on this kick panel, because that's where we're going to start. So I'm going to try my best to get it in there where you can see it. I got a light in here. We're in the shop and it's not real bright out and it's windy as could be outside today, so I can't be outside. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get that camera set up right there and see if we can get this on there without me being in your way. But you know what, guys? Before we install this, I need to explain, because believe it or not, I do get a lot of phone calls. And my first question is, and this is why I don't have a website. My first question is, do you have working factory installed power windows and door locks? And I can't tell you how many people say, no, mine's all manual. So you must have working factory installed power windows and door locks. When I tell these customers, well, you don't, when they say mine's all manual, I say, well, you don't have anything to plug into. There's nothing there. Most of them are just disappointed to move on, but there's so many that want to argue and say, oh, no, Ford goes ahead and puts all the wiring in and puts the actuators in the door in case it gets ordered with it. Well, no, they don't. If you have manual window cranks and locks, this is not going to give you power door locks and remote keyless entry. So that's one thing right there that we need to cover before we do this. Second, I'm going to come over there and show you something else where to look for. If you've got a 94 or above, you could actually have remote keyless entry from the factory and not even know it if you didn't get remote. So I'm going to show you where to look. And I'm also going to put the other video where I install this on a truck that shows you where to look and actually how to program the remotes. I'll put that at the end of this video so you can watch that. If you've got factory keyless entry, then you can program it. So I'm going to come over there and I'm going to show you where to look before we do this. Okay guys, if you've got a 94 and up truck or Bronco, keyless entry was available. If you ordered keyless entry, you automatically got the anti-theft alarm system with it for $94 and $95. It was a $354 option. And I think that they just weren't selling. I don't know what's going on. But then in '96, they dropped the anti-theft alarm and they lowered the price of keyless entry down to $170. I've actually seen it for $170 and $171. So honestly, it didn't sell a lot. I'm really surprised. But if you've got a 94 or above, you need to look right behind this storage pocket and right up in here. See how this is all hollow? There's nothing there. But if you've got keyless entry from the factory, you're going to see a box that looks like this, and it's going to fill in this whole area up here, and it's going to have 3 plugs coming out of the bottom of it with a bunch of wires. And it's also got this antenna sticking on the side. So you need to look first. And if you've got that, there's also a program little plug there that you jump the pins on to program it. Like I said, I'm going to put that video at the end of this video so you can click on it and see how to program it if you've got it. But 94, 5, 6, 7 OBS Ford truck, and then of course 94, 5, 6 Bronco. You've got to check that, because if you've got factory keyless entry, what I'm selling here won't work for you at all. So that's why I don't have a website, because too many people don't look at that stuff, and too many people think that all the wires and stuff there, even if you don't have power windows and door locks, and that's not the case. So, okay, let's get started on this thing. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is this black scuff plate here in the door. We're just going to take out this first Phillips screw right here so we can lift up on this. And again, I want to make sure you're seeing what I'm doing. Yeah, we're just lifting up on this black scuff plate so we can pull this red kick panel out from under it. So take that Phillips screw out, and then up here is why you need your pry tool. We got to get this push pin out up here. Okay, I see it. It flew to the other side, but I know where it's at. So then we're just gonna get this kick panel up around the scuff plate, and we're going to pull straight back on it. Should be 2 clips back here. One stayed in. I'm going to go ahead and put it right back in where it belongs now, and lay this kick panel aside. Maybe I'm going to do that. Okay. Now, we're going to take this same pry tool and we're going to pry this. There's 2 push pins for it. I'll pry that and get that out of the way. And what you're looking for in this 92 and 93, you're looking for this. It's going to be a green plug. Right here, this is the plug that comes, the harness that comes out of the passenger door and comes down and plugs into here. That's your power window and door lock harness. So you need to pry this up, and this is why I say you might need a flathead screwdriver just to kind of get these moving a little bit, because these are hard to get unplugged. So take your thumb, push down, and wiggle back and forth, and it unplugs just like that. Again, I'm going to make sure that you guys are seeing this. And I believe you are. So, and you don't have to undo the battery or anything like that, because there's no chance of anything touching anything. So we're going to grab our harness. You've got 1 labeled horn and 1 labeled parking light for the Broncos, and it's just kind of go over to the other side. So we can dangle that over that way now to get it out of our way. On the trucks, the pickups, you're only going over there with the horn. The pickups have a plug here for cab lights, but the Broncos did not offer it. So in order to hook up the parking lights, we got to go over that way. And I will explain that. But so we're going to plug this T harness in right here, what we just unplugged. Okay, and we're going to stuff all this back up in here. And all of this metal is rolled from the factory, so it's not sharp edges. You don't have to worry about it cutting any wires. Just got to get it up in there. Now, we've got our ground right here, and this is where this 8mm socket comes in. We're just going to use this existing ground right here. So right now, if we was to plug in the module, you would have remote keyless entry already. You would have remote locks. But right now, we're going to get in the box, and in this gray plug right here, you're going to see a black with a blue stripe wire. That's your dome light wire. That's going to give you illuminated entry. When you hit unlock, it's going to turn your dome light on for 20 some seconds. So we're going to get in the box. It comes with everything you need: the T-taps, the wire ties, the module, 2 new remotes. There's nothing else to buy. See, if we plug this in right now, if you listen, hear that? We've got remote keyless entry already with both remotes. These are tied to the antenna, so I'm going to go ahead and get those untied now. You can go to my OBS Ford Truck and Bronco video that I did originally, and you can see all the positive comments on there for this. I've just never did a Bronco install before, so since we fixed these door locks, I wanted to do it since he wanted one. So grab, we're going to have 3 red T-taps in here. Here's where your channel locks come in. We're just going to get right here on this black with the blue stripe wire. We're going to clip that on there. You're going to take this wire right here that's labeled dome light, and you're going to plug it in right here onto that T-tap. We're going to tuck this up under here for now, and we do have wire ties to tie it up to like an existing harness or something. But this is the antenna, and the range on these is great. It blows, actually the range and the dependability blows the original Ford remotes out of the water that actually did have keyless entry. But we're just going to kind of aim this antenna over here, and we put the kick panel back on. We're going to just kind of stuff it up behind it so it's up high. But again, you're not going to have any trouble with range. So now I'm going to feed this horn and parking light wire over that way, and I'm going to try to reposition the camera so I can show you where we go with that and get the light in a better place. So hold on. Alright guys, now we're going to take our horn wire and our parking light wire, and we're just going to feed it up. This would be a good spot. This has come undone, the things that hold these vacuum hoses, but that would be a good spot to feed those up around. We'll go up around them anyway, and then I'll get something else to fix that, because that should be tied up in there already anyway. We're just going to come all the way up through here. All the way over to the other side. Now, 94, 5, and 6 Bronco, at this trailer brake plug, there's a brown parking light wire. I'm pretty sure in all of them, but 92 and 3, they didn't offer a parking light wire in that plug yet. So we're going to go around the corner over here to the door chime module. Like, see when you turn on your parking lights, you got a brown wire over there that's giving power to that module. So when you hook onto that brown parking light wire, that's what's going to flash your parking light wire or your parking lights with the module. So I'm going to try to get the camera up, and I'm going to show you guys where that stuff is around here. We're going to go to that and the horns. We'll go up over this brace too. Alright, so now I'm going to come over there. I'm going to bring the camera over to the other side and show you what we're going to hook onto. Okay, so here's your four-wheel drive shifter and the hump. So right here, this box right here with this gray plug, here's the brown wire that we're going to hook on for the dome light. And I could take this off to show you, but if you lay on your back and you look straight up here, this blue wire right here in this gray plug, that's our horn wire. So we're going to put a T-tap on it. So I'm going to set this up in a different way, and hopefully you can see what I'm doing. All right, I'm going to see if I can lay up here and not kick the tripod over to get these T-taps on where we need to. We're going to put one right here on this brown wire. And I'll put a picture on there too of it hooked up. Right here. Make sure it clicks on. And you're going to get people that's going to say, oh, don't use those T-taps. Well, don't use them outside of the vehicle in all the elements. No, but you can use them inside a vehicle. I've been doing this 20 years, and I've never had a customer come back and tell me that it's not working. So that's hooked up, and we're going to plug the one that says parking lights onto it. Now I'm going to reach right up here and clip it, the other one, onto this blue horn wire. And again, I'll take a picture of it and overlay it on there so you can see it hooked up. You just want to make sure that it locks and stays on there. So then, I give you plenty too. There's a lot of length here, so you can go up over things. And we'll tie them up with the wire ties, but if there's too much, you can just always pull it back over there underneath the kick panel when we tie everything back up. Okay. So, it's all hooked up, and we've got this hanging here, but that's what we got wire ties for. So let's get a remote and turn the lights off and see if everything works. Okay, here's what your remotes look like. You've got lock, unlock. You will ignore the trunk button. I have had a couple guys somehow make the rear window go down with a button, but I don't offer that, and I won't offer that because it requires chopping up the wiring and adding a relay. The center button is your panic. So we're going to hit lock, parking lights flash once, hit unlock, parking lights flash twice. If you hit lock twice fairly quick, it chirps the horn just a little bit to confirm lock. Hold down the center button. That flashes your parking lights, honks the horn, and flashes the dome light. So, again, doors are locked, dome light's off, hit unlock, dome light comes on, parking lights flash twice. That's all there is to it. Within a half hour or less is what everybody's telling me that it takes them to install this. So I'm going to go ahead and take the wire ties out of the box and tie up this side, and then we're going to button everything back up in the kick panel, and you guys will see how easy this was. Okay, so we grabbed our wire ties out of the box. We've got two big ones and two little ones. So we're going to tie this up right here. We're going to use a small wire tie to this existing harness, or there's a heater cable or something here. We'll tie this one up here. So that's not going to fall down. And we'll move over here. I'm going to feed this back over here and tuck it up under there if it's too much. And we're going to use a big wire tie here because this is a pretty good size harness. We got to go around. If I can get around it here. Okay. So there, you're tied up there. Now I'll reposition the camera back over here in the kick panel, and we'll finish buttoning that up over there. Okay, so we got it all tied up over towards the driver's side. Now we're just going to take, we've got a big wire tie left, and we've got a small one left. So let's see what's the best place to do this. We'll go around this wiring harness here with a big wire tie. You know, you could always use the Velcro on the back of these two and stick it right up here, but if your four-wheel drive module, if you've got shift on the fly, that's where that's at. It's going to be tucked in there pretty good anyway once the kick panel's back up against it. So we got that one, and we will tie this one right here to this harness. So that's about all you need right there. And we'll just bring this back, this little excess, I am going to get some small wire ties and fix this original spot right here where this was all tied up. These vacuum hoses, the tape is gone. I'll fix that, but let's go ahead and get this all back. Just go ahead and put this back in its original holes. Remember to grab your antenna up out of here. You can bring it around here. Now this program right here, this yellow wire that says for programming only, that's if you lose a remote or break a remote or something, you will have to apply this to 12 volts to do the programming. And it does come with an LED and a program button. So put this back in the box and put it up somewhere where you know where it's at. It tells you in the instructions, it does tell you that, how to program a new remote. You can program up to 4 remotes. So, but to be honest with you, you can get remotes off eBay cheaper than I can get them and send them to you. So if you want extra remotes, that's what you have to do. But I've never had a customer complain about 2 remotes, and these last a very long time. It's a very good brand made by Directed Electronics. They make Python and Viper remote starts and alarms and all that stuff, and it's really a good brand. So keep those in the box. You're also going to have 2 of my business cards in there with my phone number on it. If you have any problems installing it or you have any problems whatsoever, just call me and I will take care of it. I'm out of probably almost 1,000 of these sold. I've only had 2 issues. So, all right. Again, we've got our antenna wire up here pretty high. I'm just gonna pull this scuff plate back up over here. You can hear those clip back in. And that push pin, I did not grab it a while ago. Let's go ahead and put our Phillips screw back in. Where'd that thing go? Here it is. Put your push pin back in. Just like that, guys. You've got keyless entry. Okay, so that's it, guys. That's all there is to adding remote keyless entry to your OBS Ford truck or Bronco. I make these for the 81 through 97 OBS Ford trucks and Broncos, as long as you have working factory installed power windows and door locks, and as long as you do not already have factory remote keyless entry on your 94 and up. I also make them for the Econoline vans. There's videos out there for the van. There's a video out there for the brick nose. I've not done a video on the bull nose. There's just not that many of them had power windows and locks, honestly. But I do sell them. I make them for the 99 through 07 Ford Super Duty. It's not quite plug and play, but I got a video on that as well. They're the same price, but you saw my phone number, 618-283-2776. That is the shop line. You will have the option to pay over the phone or PayPal, however you want to do it. But if you just go to the video at the end of this one, and for the OBS Ford Trucks and Broncos, you can look at all the comments and see how everybody really loves these things. So they've got a very good reputation. And don't wait too long, because I've got a feeling that we're running out of plugs for the 92 through 7s. So I think I've bought all I can get my hands on. And if I can't find used ones, then it's just over with. So probably have to introduce them for the Fox Body Mustangs. I've made a few for the Fox Body Mustangs, but I just haven't really thrown it out there yet. But it's very possible those are going to be available too. So I hope you like this video. Even if you don't have one of these, I hope you like seeing how I came up with that, how easy it is. You don't have to chop up your wires and everything. So anyway, if you like it, please hit that thumbs up and remember to comment and subscribe. Thank you very much for watching.